Hello, Coolers, and welcome back to Viva Barca. Welcome to another interesting episode where we discuss some interesting updates. We start with Sofian Amrabat, this Fiorentina defensive midfielder that was so close to joining Barca on deadline day in this winter transfer window. It has been reported that Amrabat have apologized to his club Fiorentina for trying to push through a Barca move. We quite remember this guy even skipped training just because he wanted a Barca move, but unfortunately for him and unfortunately for Barca, that move did not go through on the deadline day. We are going to be discussing that as we progress. Then secondly, talking about this Gonzalo Guedes, it has been reported that the Portuguese attacker refused a move to Barcelona because of playing time. We are also going to be discussing more on that. So guys, before we get right into the full story, please do ensure to subscribe, turn on the post bell notification to always stay notified whenever I post a new video. Consider liking the video and please watch right up to the very end. Sofian Amrabat has been shaken up by the whole thing. Amrabat has apologized to Fiorentina for trying to push through a deadline day move to Barcelona. The midfielder was wanted at the Camp Nou on loan, but the Catalans couldn't get a deal done, with Fiorentina unwilling to let the Morocco international leave. The Serie A side are thought to be pretty angry about the whole thing and left Amrabat out of their Coppa Italia squad for the clash against Torino. Coach Vincenzo Italiano says Amrabat was affected by the whole situation and has spoken to his teammates about the last few days. He said, Amrabat was shaken up by what happened, but he apologized and knows he must give everything until June. He is a top quality player, he said. The only situation that went to the last minute was Amrabat, who was rightly left out of the training session, but when the transfer window closes, everything settles down. Amrabat stood up and apologized. The transfer market is a sporting tragedy for coaches, so it's much better when it closes and we can focus on the games. The midfielder is still, thought to be interested in a move to Barcelona at the end of this season, but it's not clear if Barca will renew their interest in him this summer. Indeed, it isn't clear, if Barca will even renew that interest. But in case Barca don't renew the interest, I think Amrabat is going to be very, very disappointed because it was a dream, like any other player, for him to join Barcelona, which didn't go through, and he would just go crazy with his club Fiorentina because they really blocked a move on that winter transfer deadline day 2 days ago. The move did not go through, and Barca were pushing hard and hard towards the very final moments of the window, but they couldn't see any agreement with Fiorentina for the player. So it remains to be seen actually if Barca will renew their interest in the midfielder come end of season. If they do, then it was meant to be, because Barca have been interested in many defensive midfielders, and it wouldn't even come as a surprise that Barcelona can have another player that Xavi really wants by that time. Things can change from now to June. So let's see how it goes. The player have apologized to his teammates. We all know about how he skipped training sessions with Fiorentina, all just so because he wanted to, push a move, to force a move to Barcelona, which didn't eventually work out. And we can hear the Fiorentina coach, of course, acting so professional about the whole situation, saying that Amrabat stood up to his teammates after the deadline day to say, look, I'm sorry about that. I think many of them would definitely understand why he had to skip training sessions with the team, because he never wanted to, be distracting himself. He wanted to focus on if there will be any possibility of him going to Barca. But unfortunately for Amrabat, unfortunately for Barcelona, that move couldn't go through. Barcelona were really willing to really bring him, even if on a loan move. And of course, Barca were ready to even pay at least 3 million euros for a loan fee, and definitely maybe a mandatory purchase option come end of season. But I think Fiorentina did not agree with that deal, and it was meant to collapse. And so that was what happened. So let's see how it goes. Sergio Busquets, being a DM himself, we don't know if he will renew his contract, even though rumors have been having it that Busquets will likely renew, or by the influence of Xavi, but nothing has been concluded as of yet. And of course, bringing Amrabat, who is also a DM, was a step for Xavi to, look for a long-term replacement for Sergio Busquets in case he leaves the club. Of course, Amrabat is just 26 years old, which means he still has a lot of things to do, a lot of playing career, a lot of years to play. But let's see. I think Barca definitely in the summer will look for ways to bring in a new DM. I don't know if it will be Amrabat or someone else. Then on to the next story of discussion. Gonzalo Guedes was one of the first names to be linked with a transfer to Barcelona in the recently concluded winter transfer market. Fresh from the blow of Memphis Depay's departure, the Catalans were in the hunt for a replacement, and the Portuguese international appealed to them as a strong possibility. A 6-month loan move with a purchase clause at the end of the season was proposed and pursued. However, talks quickly fell apart and the player drifted far from Spotify Camp Nou. According to reports from Sport, Guedes wanted to have regular minutes under his belt to revive his career, which has seen a downward spiral in recent years. It was for that reason that he chose to move to Benfica over Barcelona. The Portuguese side signed the 26-year-old on a 6-month loan, similar to the offer proposed by Barcelona. However, there was no purchase clause attached to the contract. The winger endured a difficult start to the 2022-23 campaign with Wolverhampton Wanderers, playing 13 games and scoring just 1 goal in that duration. In addition, he managed 1 assist and averaged less than a key pass per game. Since his return to Benfica, he has made 3 appearances for the club and has already equaled his goal plus assist tally from the first half of the season. Guedes has also created 2 big chances in his impressive return to La Liga Portugal. Nevertheless, Barcelona did not sign any replacement for Memphis Depay in January, and Xavi will look to retain his faith in the duo of Ferran Torres and Ansu Fati after the recent injury to Ousmane Dembele. However, one wonders whether Barcelona's decision to part ways with the Dutchman was justified. The winter transfer window came and go without us signing any single player, even though we wanted to do that on deadline day. We saw Memphis Depay depart the club to Atletico Madrid and there was no replacement from there. Now that we see players like Ousmane Dembele injured, and definitely you can see that the other players who are not even on form, had it been Memphis Depay was still at Barca, he could have really assisted, helped, had played a key role in the games. But Barcelona wanted Guedes, but the move did not materialize. Guedes went to Benfica and on a loan deal. So I think the forwards currently, I think they need to step up their game. Before his injury, Ousmane Dembele was, I think, the most informed player, attacker for Barcelona. But luckily enough, yesterday against Real Betis, we did not miss Dembele because we still went ahead to win the game by 2-1. Lewandowski, coming back from his 3-game suspension, scored the second goal. So I think Barcelona definitely will need a new attacker if these guys don't step up. And now that the window have closed till the summer transfer window, let's see how Barca will go about their business. So guys, with that we have come to an end of this episode. Thanks a lot for watching. Until next time, bye for now.